Hi there, folks. My name's Novoin24, and welcome to the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and specifically to Idaho, as we review another Microsoft Flight Simulator product. Today, we are going to be having a look at Johnson Creek Airport, or 3 Uniform Tango, from developer Creative Mesh. So this is a small sort of regional well, not even a regional, it's a bush strip. It's a bush strip here in the Pacific Northwest, and it's a beautiful sort of chance to explore and get back to nature. And it's going to be an airport that is obviously pretty much from the scenery, the beautiful scenery around it, is going to be suited to more those who want to get off the beaten path, as it were. So as we fly along here and we have a look at the airport, as you can see, it's a single runway ops in the fairly remote wilderness of the Pacific Northwest. And it's an airport that is designed primarily for general aviation and for exploration and sort of pilots as well. So you won't find any hard surface runways, no mod cons here at this airport. Now, as we sort of go along the park flight line here, so we've got a mixture of various different objects that the developer's calling in here, and come to a nice little setup here. And so coming through, and we're really starting to appreciate some of the detail that goes into airports like this. And this is something that I really want to showcase off, and we're getting a great sort of chance to look at this as well. Is that, you know, this is the kind of airport where this is the $100 hamburger kind of airport, except this is the one where you bring the $100 you bring a hamburger with you. So it actually brings to life so many details of the actual airport, including the fire pits, the picnic tables, and stuff like that. Because I mean, that's what this airport is all about. It's essentially for pilots and for people who choose to use an aeroplane instead of a caravan to go explore the world. So it's great seeing the little details here, like those fire pits, and the tents that are camped that are sort of pitched just off the runway as well. So there's so much of these little details that come in here and blends in the modern technology as sort of the modern parts of the Microsoft Flight Simulator engine, along with some custom terrain pieces as well. So going through, seeing all these extra additional bits here. Now, moving on to some of the more fixed buildings of the area. So again, it's the little attention to details. I mean, I know it's just a trash bin, but it's the trash bin, and then the beautiful, flapping, sort of swaying in the breeze of the stars and stripes there. This also is one I really want to show this off, because this was not going to lie. I saw this in the ad, and this was actually enticing. This is part of what enticed me to buy this airport and to now bring it to you for review. Is that it's like this kind of detail, like the pilot on duty, like with the temperature there as well. But it really just captures this part of the world. Again, going through some of the exquisite details that we're seeing from this developer, from this outer here, is highlighting all the little real life parts of this airport, capturing all the details like the tourist maps and the information guides and stuff like that. Now, one of the interesting things about this airport here is that the reason we have like all these facilities sort of close by is that you can actually you bring your aircraft here and you camp next to your aircraft. Like, that is an actual thing. So it's not like like a commercial airport where there's the airside, groundside sort of all that kind of stuff. You bring your airplane, you park up next to it, and you'll pitch your tent next to the aircraft, or you can put it in the woods behind it. You can as well. So it's that kind of like adventure spirit that this airport encourages, and it is, and I think it will capture the kind of pilots and aviators that are interested in this as well. Will be those who look for that kind of thing, not only in their virtual world but also in their real world experiences as well. So I think it's a really cool way to capture it. Now, as well as that, we've got some more details that we can come across here as we sort of zip across to the other side of this airstrip. So again, the level of details captured, like with the cones, the flags, the rocks used to actually sort of do the runway markings on the edge of the airport, the runway markings. You've got the accurate positioned and covered off windsock, which is fully functional as well. So again, it's just this beautiful little attention to detail that is really okay, I'll show some of my bias here. I think is appreciated more by low and slow and GA pilots and so these regional bush pilots. Now, as well as, of course, doing it in beautiful weather in winter, in summer, it looks amazing in winter as well, which is something that I want to show off to so not that you'll probably be using this airport much in winter, because cold as shit. But it's the fact that again the developers made sure that it fully works with the multiple weather systems of the of the sim of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it varies according to snow levels as well if you adjust the snow, and still manages to look pretty good as well, complete with the snow covering the items that are here in the sims, or the little detritus, little objects. It sort of brings it all to life, and the snow accumulation does show as well. So I've got to admit though, it looks incredibly picturesque, like at winter. Like it looks incredibly picturesque. I'm happy to enjoy it from a sim, not from IRL. But anyway. But returning back to summer now, and sort of having a look at the airport here again, just revisiting down the line. This is just a really, really just. It's just a beautiful set of details for an airport that allows us to go and explore as well. Now, I did find something a little bit interesting that I can't figure out what's going on here. Now, as I said, I'm not saying that this is bad or wrong, but it's just I did notice that with the changing of time of day, is that you do sort of see the markers actually move their position across the runway. I'll be honest, I don't know what that's for. Obviously, it's very deliberate. I couldn't find any documentation on it. I did some research on it. I can't find any reason for it. But so if you know, please let me know. I'd love to know why the dev did that. But either way, this airport looks absolutely amazing. I think it looks really, really good, and it's a great sort of destination piece. Now that we've had a look at it from the sky, let's jump into the air and have a look at it from an aircraft point of view. So here we are in the X-Cub as the engine started, ready to taxi. We taxi down for our departure here. And you really get a sense as you taxi out sort of the remote wilderness that this airport can service. So it's interesting for this airport. So this airport is a regional sort of strip. Well, it's not even just a regional; it's just a grass strip, as it's defined. But it's technically maintained by the Idaho Transportation Department. It does have a caretaker present. Now we are in a STOL aircraft. It's a nice fine day here, so we'll do a mid-field departure. Well, three-quarter field departure. Just clearing here, making sure there's no traffic. It's funny just looking into the sort of the synthetic vision there, like all the mountains rising ahead of us. Now throttles up, off we go. A little bit of rudder. You do get that, so the train is definitely follows the curve, so it's not like a flat strip, so it does have the undulations. It's sort of very, very much a standard feature now of this sim, but it's funny that for someone like myself who has been in legacy sims for so long, it still has the novelty, it really does. Again, just sort of admiring the detail and how it does blend very seamlessly into the default photo reel and the sort of default imagery of the area. Now just building up our airspeed here, flying through the valley. It is just so picturesque. It's one of the things that really does I just marvel with all the times for this sim. You sort of just diverting from the scenery for a second, or this add-on for a second. It's just the scenery, and it's one of the reasons why I think this add-on actually is really nice, because is really good, because it means again, like a lot of add-on scenery, is it necessary? Not necessarily, but the fact that it gives you a reason, and it makes you aware to give you a reason to visit somewhere, which is just so extraordinarily beautiful. Alright, as we head in now, as we sort of go over the field here, I'll get a chance to be able to fly along the field, so we can start to see where the scenery and where the add-on sort of just seamlessly blends into the surrounding default scenery, including the water masking is done quite well as well. A nice sort of display of all the aircraft sort of parked along there. And it's interesting as well, so that the operations for the airport here, so there's as you can see, as you just saw there off to the left, so several houses and sort of the village just sort of off the south of the runway. Just again, just admiring this picturesque beauty here, and it is obviously right beside Johnson Creek, funnily enough as well. So we're just doing our turn over here. We'll do another circuit back over the field, enjoying some of the local scenery. All right, as we continue back, as we head back up the side of the airport, so we can see the houses sort of just off the end of 35 there. So it's actually one of the standing directions for the airport is that where and it says there, where winds allow, you sort of use 35 for departures, 17 for arrivals. Now again, just as seeing as we fly along here, the beautiful sort of setup and the not beautiful, but it's just the cleanliness and the attention to details paid to the water masking there along the river edge and where it blends into the scenery as well. So that nice combination of handcrafted sort of materials as well as blending in with the photo reel as well. It just gives this, it really does help to bring this airport to life, it really does. And just look at that amazing mountain scenery just beside us here in the Pacific Northwest. It's a wonderful exploration point here. The scenery here is just breathtaking. Indeed, Idaho is sort of is known as the gem state because of its breathtaking natural beauty. So this is a great airport to sort of get a chance to experience that. All right, so we're going to come. This is just a quick circuit here. So we're going to do. This is going to be our downwind for arrival. So we're kind of breaking the recommended landing instructions here, sort of requesting us to land on 17. But we're just going to say it's because of the wind data today. That's why we're going to do that. So just extending our downwind here and get a bit more of this natural beauty. Probably a little bit, we're a little bit lower than our probably normal pattern altitude, just because, again, just this scenery, it's, again, as I was saying before, like, it's really wonderful to see how this this simulator as a whole is just, it is an incredible sim for, especially for all aviators, but I think especially for those who enjoy their VFR flying as well. So just being able to experience and sort of enjoy the scenery, especially, you know, and just be able to, for all of us to be able to explore the world. Alright, so we're sort of coming through here. So the approach into 3.5 can be a little bit challenging because of the you sort of follow the river course here, conscious of the mountains on your right here as we come in, lining ourselves up for the runway. So it's, I think in some ways it's almost not just because of the people living to the south of the field. It's almost as if probably also the approach might be a bit easier from the north. Alright, so we're coming here, lining ourselves up with the runway. Little bit of crosswind as we come down. Wave at the houses of the nearby residents as we come in. A little faster that landing, but there we go. And down. Rolling out a little long. But again, it's just we're just gonna say this is to show off all the detail lever in the far end of the strip here. That's always important. All right, clean the aircraft up, and we'll taxi back to our parking. We'll shut the aircraft down and we'll give our final thoughts on this scenery for today. Alrighty, so final thoughts on Johnson Creek from developer Creative Mesh. Look, this is a wonderfully highly detailed, small little airport in the middle of nowhere. It for me embodies much of what this sim truly represents, which is it's giving us some creative freedom and to be able to go and explore the world at large and to do it in incredible detail. And to give us a reason to go see and check out places that are new and wondrous and different, help reawaken the sense of adventure in all of us. So this airport is beautifully highly detailed. It's got some quirks. It's got some great little features to it. It's got so much attention to detail play to it that If you're looking for somewhere to go and adventure in the Pacific Northwest, in Idaho, or really just to put your bush piloting skills and navigation skills to the test, this one's going to should be high on your list. It really does. This feels like it should be part of the Return to Misty Moorings family. It really does. So yeah, as I said, for me, highly recommended. I think it's a great add-on. I hope you enjoyed this video. So if you do want to pick this one up, this one's available for $9 or your original equivalent, available now from the Microsoft InSim Marketplace, and you can pick it up and add to your collection now. Well, folks, that does wrap up this little review video for Johnson Creek. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter and on Twitch. Just search NovaWing24. All right, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.